England. All 16 to 19-year-olds will typically study 5 subjects as part of the new Advanced British Standard, including some English and maths up to the age of 18. However, it will be years before the qualification is in place, and the first students to take it will be those currently just starting primary school. Mr. Sunak said more teachers would be recruited to help. Well, Daniel Kebede is the General Secretary of the National Education Union. Good evening.
Good evening.
The Prime Minister said this will finally deliver on the promise of parity of esteem between academic and technical education. What do you say?
Well, I say that discussion about reform to post-16 qualifications is welcome. It should be done with the profession. The fact of the matter is we were called into a meeting 20 minutes before the Prime Minister gave his speech. There's not been much care or thought put into it at all. And quite frankly, any proposed reforms that do not deal with the current crisis facing our schools is destined to fail.
Let me ask you about the attraction of, or the aim of attracting more teachers into the profession as a result of this announcement. Those who teach key subjects in schools and for the first time in our further education colleges as well, the Prime Minister said, they will receive special bonuses of up to £30,000 tax-free over the first 5 years of their career. Surely you would welcome that.
Well, incentives might work at recruiting teachers, but what they don't do is work at retaining teachers. And we have a real crisis in both recruitment and retention. And in fact, the current system is incredibly wasteful. So for every 6 teachers you do not retain, you have to train up 10. It's incredibly expensive. This Prime Minister should be focusing also on retention, because obviously the longer a teacher teaches, the more experience they get. It's quite frankly damaging for young people's education currently, the fact that we are hemorrhaging the experience from our classroom. Unfortunately, this is a gimmick from the Prime Minister. It does not confront the real crisis facing our schools: recruitment and retention, high workloads, excessive pay cuts, crumbling schools, a school estate in need of desperate repair, or indeed the rocketing levels of child poverty.
You say it's a gimmick, but I mean, you did acknowledge that we need to have these kinds of conversations about the long-term future of education.
Yes, we need to have these conversations and discussions around reform, but that needs to be carefully thought about and planned. And what we have is another proposal from the Prime Minister, dreamt up on the back of a cigarette packet, that doesn't deal with the real issues impacting our schools. And quite frankly, I am really disappointed when I consider that the entire Department for Education now will be focused on this pipe dream rather than working on the real issues facing our schools. And the fact of the matter is, we could have a general election very soon and it not get anywhere near implementation.
Okay, we must leave it there.
It's a mess. Thank you.
We must leave it there. Daniel Kebede, thank you, General Secretary of the National Education Union.